Welcome to an HR News Report, and today we have our video, and our video is about the Vancouver Canucks season preview, and this is a team that will be very interested about talking about. Let's get into it. So first of all, the Vancouver Canucks have a team that have not made the playoffs in a little bit. I forget how many years it is now, but it's been like since 2014 or 13. I can't remember which one. I think it was 14. That was the last time they went into the playoffs, and ever since, no playoffs. Basically rebuild, kind of mediocre, and now it looks like they got a team. Let's get into. So cap space this year they have projected. Right now they have on July 26th. Cap space of $5,068,461 left after signing some big guys. Looking at what the whole thing about these asterisks on the right side here. Injured for most of the season are the brown ones. And it might be hard to see the brown and purple, but I will point it out. And the purple ones are the RFAs that have not signed and yet it's going to become a potential offshoot, maybe potential offshoot. Probably not, most likely offer sheets are more for like mono, guys that are big in numbers, definitely big guys, you know what I mean? Kachucks, Kachuk, Matthew Kachuk. Definitely those guys. So let's look at the 17-18 stats. And the 17-18 stats is one second, everyone. Just want to look something down. No playoffs for the first two the last two seasons, like I said. But the 17-18 season, they were 31, 40, and 11 for 73 points. This was a better season for them, definitely, after what they did in the previous years after they lost. Didn't make the playoffs in a little bit. And then they got, Travis Green, new coach, was in 17-18 season. That was an improvement in the team, young ability. And then if you want to look at the 18-19 season last year, 35, 36, and 11, 81 points. No playoffs still, but still an improvement in the season. 8 points better than the 17-18 season. So I would say that's a pretty good improvement. So next, they got to get around 90 to 100. Well, more like 96. So they really want to get into that playoff spot, and I think they're hungry for that. I think they got a team that they added during the offseason. Now let's get into that. The new ones are added for the Vancouver Canucks. There you go. You can see better now. To the Vancouver Canucks is JT Miller and the trade with the first, second, and something like that in the third or something to the Lightning. And now they have JT Miller. Michael Furlan signed a $3.5 million contract in free agency. And Jody Benn signed the $2 million contract in free agency after being with Montreal. And Furlan being with the Carolina Hurricanes. And Tyler Myers signed a $6 million contract with the Vancouver Canucks. And his previous team was the Winnipeg Jets. And Oscar Fentonberg, you might not know this one. He was with LA, Calgary last year. Two teams, he split it. And he has signed with the Vancouver Canucks for an $850,000 contract. The ones who have left the Vancouver Canucks of the 18-19 season roster, the ones who left are Ultrabob, Hutton, that is still they did not qualify him. Shen went to the Tampa Bay Lightning. He was going to stay, but then he's like, I have a better chance in Tampa. They want me. I'll go. And Marcus Granlund, not Michael Granlund. Too bad it wasn't Michael Granlund, right? He's a really good player. For Nashville now. He used to be in the Wild, if you don't know that. But Marcus Granlund is with signed with the Edmonton Oilers. Now, let's get into our forwards. JT Miller, like I said, he has a $5.25 million contract, 47 points. His ability, his ceiling is around 50 points, 50 to 55 points. That's the maximum for him. He's not going to go to 70. No way. 60. Breakout year, I would say, but you're pushing it a little if that would happen. But Miller, giving up a first and all that stuff for second and third, I think it was, and giving up Mozanic or something, I forget who it was, I think it was, is to me a little too much to give up for JT Miller, but put it out there. It's good depth, and it's really going to help out the team. 26, not old, he's still in his prime, right? And he's getting into his prime, literally. 28 to 30 is really your prime years of NHL player for most players. Some players, like Blake Wheeler, they get better as they go older, but whatever. That's all another discussion. So Miller, I think he'll get around 50. Maybe a little less than 50, a little bit more than 50. That's about it. Bo Horban with a $5.5 million contract, 61 points. I feel like he might get around 65 to 70 if he really pushes for the playoffs. Definitely have a really good year and more of a greater year. This team would be better and get to that playoffs. Definitely he'll have more points. Definitely he's going to contend with, maybe he might be on the second line, first line. By the way, these are not NHL lines. This is not what I came up with. You probably look at Louis Eriksson, what, on the first line? These are just, I wrote down all the left wingers, all the centers, all the right wingers, all the left defensemen, all the right defensemen. So these are not actual lines. These are just, I wrote down in order from cap friendly, okay? So do not think it is. Eriksson was the first one as a right winger, so I wrote him down. I'm sorry, okay? So, Louis Eriksson, potential buyout candidate, trade candidate, talked about that, had enough of talking about that, but Eriksson, $6 million contract, 29 points, still, we'll see what happens to that, maybe he has a better year, he might get around 20 points, 20 to 25, I think he's going to go a little bit less, but we'll see what happens. Michael Furlan had a $3.5 million contract, 40 points. I think he's going to get around 40. If this team can make the playoffs again, Furlan's going to get around 40. Maybe a little less, maybe a little bit more, hopefully a little bit more. Definitely, this is a great depth team. Elias Pettersson, a $925,000 contract to entry-level contract. This is his rookie season last year, so his rookie season stats were 66 points, and yes, pretty good, I gotta say, isn't it, Evo? And talking about that is, I feel like he's gonna get around 70 to 80 points next year if they can really make the playoffs, like I said. Brock Besser, he's an RFA, that's why there's purple on it, and he was injured for a little bit of the year. Like, he hasn't really stayed healthy for a whole season yet. He has 56 points, one higher than his rookie season, so look at that. But, great player, great shot. He's definitely going to get over, hopefully, 60 to 70. Hopefully, around 60 to 65 points, hopefully. Bertucci there, a $3.3 million contract, 14 points. He was injured for most of the season. Disappointment there, definitely, we all know. And definitely, hopefully, he can bounce back next year after his long injury. Sutter played around 26 games. He was out for most of the season, definitely. That's why there's no asterisk there. And his contract is $4.375 million contract, 6 points in 26 games. This is a $4 million contract, like I said, you see. And this is a hard contract to move. This is a contract you're probably not going to be able to move at all. That team's going to be like, yeah, I'll take on that $4 million contract. That's a tough one to take on, okay? It's going to be a hard one to trade. But I don't think they're going to let it. He's a UFA at the end of the year, I think, so let it go then, right? Jake Virtanen, a $1.25 million contract. This is actually a better year for him. 25 points. Of course, 25 points. That's it. What? You know what I mean? But that was actually a better year. He had around 20 points. 5-point difference. That's pretty good for him, actually. You know, really trying to get better. I think he's trying his best. He's trying not to be a bust for the Vancouver Canucks. Anton Roussel, $3 million contract. 31 points. You know what I mean? $1 million for 10 points. Hey, look at that. But, I think he's very good third, fourth line center. This team that I see a lot it's a lot of depth. And that's something that the team does not need anymore. They need superstars now. That's all they need, right? Draft those guys. They have Pedersen, they got Holben, they have Bessel. So this team looks bright in the future. Jay Beagle, former Stanley Cup champion with the Capitals. $3 million contract. Signed last year with the Vancouver Canucks, and with Vancouver, his first year, he put 13 points on that fourth line. It's another depth leadership role. There's a couple young guys on this team, so this can really help and show some, how to get to the playoffs. Not just how to get to the playoffs, how to win the Stanley Cup. And, he's been on a team that consistently, every single year, what he did before with the Capitals, he's always been to this playoffs with them. So he can show that experience, what he did. First year not making the playoffs in a while for Jay Beagle last year. Goldobin, he's an RFA also. That's why purple and brown, because he was injured for most of the season and he is an RFA. 27 points. Of course, he can get a little bit more, but he was injured, but whatever. But he'll be a great third, fourth line center. Probably compete with Rotanen, who gets that spot. Who knows? We'll see. Moving on to the defense. Oh, wait. Forwards. The last of the forwards here. Tanner Pearson, a $3.75 million contract, 27 points. The 27 points are split between the LA Kings, the Pittsburgh Penguins, and the Vancouver Canucks. I put it all together, and that's 27 points. So, yes, he's pretty good. Pearson, Tanner Pearson, you know what I mean? Hopefully he can do better. Definitely, we can see better things from him. Definitely, I can see. We'll see. Tyler Marty with a $975,000 contract just signed, and 16 points. This is only a year contract, and he's a good young guy, but I want to see a breakout year from him. I want to see him on 20 to 25 points. 25 is pushing it for him. Let's see 20. Let's see 20. Come on, Monty. Let's do it. Tom Shallow with a $1.9 million contract, 10 points. He played really well in Boston, I thought. And then when he went to Vancouver, I'm like, he didn't play so well. But he's still a very good player, good depth. Like I keep saying all the time, this team has a lot of depth, and that's something that they're not lacking on this team. And Josh Levo wanted more of an opportunity to play on a team that have more time for him and time. Total time on ice and all that. And Vancouver's a perfect place for him, right? With a $1.5 million contract. Sorry about that. 24 points. Hey, that's pretty good. Definitely. They got a lot of depth. This is like my fifth saying. They have a lot of guys who put around 20 points. And that's great to know. Getting guys like that. And we'll still get the defense now. Alexander Edler just signed his $6 million contract. No trade clause on that one. So when the Seattle franchise comes around, whoever the name is and all that in 2021, they're able to say, let's put him out there. Do you want Seattle's going to be like, well, I have to pick Edler, so they don't have to give up like Troy Stetcher, Quinn Hughes. They don't have to give up guys like that. They can be like, yeah, here's Edler. You want him? You know what I mean? Literally. Looking at that, 34 points, injured for most of the year. That's what really destroyed the defense. They started off really well, and they kind of crumbled because of the defense structure. And definitely this year, it's a revamp of a defense structure way better than last year, I gotta say. Even though they got a better score, it's going to even be better. And that's why Markstrom didn't play as well, because of this defense core. Moving on to Miles, $6 million contract, just signed after being with Winnipeg. $6 million contract, 31 points. Started off slow with the Winnipeg Jets, then started to heat up at the end of the season. But 31 points is okay. Definitely, he's a big guy, 6'8", I'm pretty sure. And he's absolutely a great guy. Jordy Ben, a $2 million contract, 22 points. Like I said, these are not lines. Hughes will probably be on that second line, hopefully, because Ben, if he plays on that second line, like I did a video on, he will give away. He will not play as well. That's why Ben needs to be on that third line. Christopher Tavian, a $4.45 million contract, 12 points. He was injured for most of the year. This one, he's a UFA at the end of the year. I would get rid of him. You know what I mean? I don't know what you would get for him. You know what? I would keep him, actually. I don't know what you would get for him. I would keep him for now. You know what I mean? I wouldn't put Stetcher on that third line for second line yet. Let's hold off on that. Quinn Hughes has $916,000 contract, 3 points in 5 games to put out there. 3 points in 5 games. He looks really good, and definitely he is making that roster of that 19 to 2020 season. Definitely. We see him playing next year with the Vancouver Canucks. Troy Stetcher, a $2.325 million contract, 23 points. Definitely he shows like he can be that bright future with Quinn Hughes. Definitely we see a great young core in those two guys. And having those two guys will be a dream come true for the team, right? If they can really be that guy they want him to be. Moving on to the rest of the defense on this side. Oscar Fantenberg with an $850,000 contract, 4 points between Calgary and LA. So LA and then Calgary. So 4 points between those two teams. And he's okay. He'll probably be mostly scratched or sent down to the minors. But he's there if they need help and if someone gets injured, like Tavian again, they got Fantenberg. And they also have Alex Biega, 31-year-old. He's a UFA at the end of the year, $825,000 contract, 16 points. Alex Biega is an okay defenseman, not the best, but he's there. He's going to be mostly scratched or sent down. That's what I see, because, you know, I don't know how they're going to make the team, but we'll see. Moving on to the goalies. The goalies are Markstrom with $3.6 million contract. UFA at the end of the year with 277 goals against average. This team would have played better. The defense structure was better. And Markstrom would have been playing way better. That defense is better because you need good defense for goaltending. You know, you can have the best goaltender ever, but the defense stinks and it always gives away. Goaltenders have no choice, but they try to make as many saves as they can. You know what I mean? Great goaltender, definitely. And Thatcher Demko, a youngster in goal here, $1.55 million contract. $1.5 million contract. 281 goals against average. Definitely, we saw a lot down the stretch for him. A great job down the stretch. We definitely saw. And before we end here, I like to get into what do they still need. To me, they need one more defenseman on that second line instead of Tavian. That's what I think. And another really good, a good third line center. Because you have Horban, you have Pedersen. No problem with those. I have no problem with those. A good third line center they could use. Or a winger, another right winger would really help too. But thank you for watching. This is any Chalk News Support. Like the video, ding the bell, comment, share. And let's get to 150 subs. Let's go for it. Come on. And I'll see you next video. Bye.